Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Neon Souls. We are excited to be here to play some more Sprawl action, some cyberpunk goodness here for you today. So thanks for joining us. We are going to just hit up our announcements real quick. We'll do our recap, and then we will get started. You just saw our lovely promo video about everything we do here throughout the week. Our next stream after this one will be on Saturday, which is tomorrow, because I have lost track of the week. I've thought it was Monday every day this week. Tomorrow we will have Saturday night's Apocalypse. We play some D&D 5th edition at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I run that as well. We're doing the Princes of the Apocalypse campaign, kinda, sorta, not really. It's gone very off the rails. There are mind flayers and zombies and other things that the group hasn't discovered yet. So anyway, come join us for that, 7 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Otherwise, our schedule throughout next week will be pretty much the same. The only thing that, in case you haven't noticed, on Tuesdays, we normally have AOS. I think it still says AOS on our schedule. For the foreseeable future, we're going to be doing some alternating because our dear GM, Barry, isn't going to be able to play with us for a little while. So Alex and I have taken over the position of alternating running different games. I will this week be running another game of Overarms. We are entitling that mini series Sweeps Week because everything so far has been themed on TV shows. And then Alex is doing more Squire Squad, which he did a session of this week. It was a lot of fun, and you can check out both of those series on our YouTube channel, and that'll be going on for a little while. Otherwise, I think pretty much everything is the same as we head into the spookiest week in the year, Halloween week. I'm sure we'll have other games. We'll have some Halloween themes and some fun stuff for you to enjoy as we get closer and further into the spooky season. That's pretty much it for announcements. I'm going to let these fools introduce themselves, and then we will get started. So first up is GB.
Graybeard of Graybeard's Tavern. Tonight I will be playing Klaxon, the drone jockey driver. That's it for me.
And I'm Morgan, also known as Imagined Matrix all over the interwebs. And tonight I'm playing Clarity the Hacker.
Hello, and I am Savvy at Savvy Seaworth on the interwebs. You can find me somewhere on the internet every single day for the next 8 weeks. But on Fridays, tonight, I'll be playing Choke the Killer.
And I am Christina Sid. You can find me on the Twitters at Greek Sid. And this evening, I am playing Impulse, the Pusher. Oh, hey. Changed up playbooks. What? Level up.
And once again, I am Sean at the Kraken King on Twitter. I'm here all the time, and let's get started. So last time on Neon Souls, your crew had just narrowly avoided being arrested for the destruction of an Omnitrust data facility from a job you did many weeks ago at this point. You pinned the as the San Angeles PD was looking into your this attack, which they had designated as a terrorist attack. You pinned the whole thing on Ricky Steele, just sort of adding insult to injury, and then went to sort of look into this event and find out exactly what had happened, why you were being investigated, how that ended up coming back on you. Through some help with your friend Swin, you had done a little bit of investigating. Klaxon, using the visual memories of his droid Rosie, was able to see the people that had tried to hack into Clarity's systems. You identified one as Impulse and Swin both recognized them on site as a catechism IT specialist and manager named, why did I forgot their name? Wanda, who Impulse had some dealings with, and Swin had some dealings with in the past as well. You decided you wanted to find out why Wanda was doing this, and to do so, you came up with the only plan that you could have possibly come up with, was to set them up on a date with Swin. Swin asked them out. It seemed to work. You guys did a little bit of investigating, decided exactly how you were going to do this, with Clarity going invisible and Choke running some potential backup at the bar. You went to the Freaky Tiki Tavi, or the FTT. Swin had a nice or a pleasant date with Wanda, having some conversation, being two very awkward individuals. Did a little bit of hula dancing, while Clarity, still invisible, using the cloaking device that she had procured from Apollo, started a hack on Wanda's drives on her data pad. Unfortunately, it was a little more encrypted than you expected, and you weren't able to get a lot of data. So you left a code, sort of a backdoor protocol, on the pad itself, downloading what you could, and leaving the door open for you to potentially hack a little more data off of it, get some more information off of it in the future. The date ended with a fire alarm being pulled, because that's how we do everything on this channel. And Wanda left the bar with Swin. They said their goodbyes, and you guys made your escape. You looked through the data that you had found. It had a couple of things. One were some pictures of Marilee, or Impulse, back when she was an employee at Catechism, as well as Choke, specifically related to the Valentine's Day operation that you had carried out to steal some data from Catechism. The data that was being that was attempted to be recovered from Clarity's drives. You also found some correspondence with Wanda with somebody called Omega, who you also recognized as the person who had given you the job to destroy the OmniTrust server bank. Lastly, I think the only other thing of importance is Impulse had a conversation with Explicit, former love interest, now folk music and star and political activist, who you spoke with, has a little bit of dealings with Catechism, and gave you the name of the corporate fixer, the person who tends to work with Catechism the most, and who they have dealt with in the past, named Deborah Keene, saying they may have some information, be able to help you out a little bit if you were to contact them. That is everything that happened in the last session, which I feel like is a lot. And that is where we pick up, as I think the Tortuga cruises into the workshop. You've said your goodbyes to Swin, and you all have all this information, everything to sort through. What would you like to do?
Did I have a link scene with Impulse?
Oh, right. Did we have another link scene that we need to do? I've lost track at this point. That sounds right.
Yes.
You can do that now, or you can save it for when you feel like it's appropriate.
I don't know why I brought it up, because I don't know what to do for it right now.
That's fine.
I thought I might as well.
You can wait a little bit if you need to, or if you have something that you can think of right now, you can do that.
think I'm gonna save it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you've all disembarked from the Tortuga. The systems, the engine's powered down. The garage door to the workshop closes, and the lights come on inside, leading up to the offices, back to the back rooms, and the closets. And then you guys can do whatever you want now, whatever you want to do with your investigation.
So I imagine we keep the Tesla at the gas station.
Okay.
Which
That's right.
Yeah.
You were in the Tesla, not the Tortuga. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
So
okay,
we'd
so
probably go to the gas station, switch out, blah blah blah, all
Okay.
happened off screen. Got home.
yeah.
There,
Yeah, that's
there-
good.
Cool.
That's a good point. Yeah. So the Tesla is at the gas station.
We made it.
I mean, it went as well as could be expected, I suppose.
Yeah. I mean, there was no giant shrimp, but
No. Although we still have plenty in the freezer, just saying. So, I mean, I can just call up this Deborah Keene person, I suppose. See what they might have to say.
And I can look through the data a little bit more, see if there's anything else I can find.
If you find any other photos of me, just let me know. I really want to know what like they're working with. You know what I mean?
Will
Thank
do.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I feel like I've moved away from like my merely aesthetic anyway, but like I just want to move as far away as possible from anything that they may have. You know.
I think you're already pretty far.
Thank you. I mean, I try. All right, so yeah, I will get in touch with Deborah Keene, I suppose. Do you mind looking her up?
Me?
Yeah.
The hacker? Yeah, I can do that.
I mean, I know you can. You can do everything.
Oh, thanks. I try. Okay, well, I'll take this data pad and then look up Deborah Keene. Deborah Keene?
Mhm.
And who is that again?
She is apparently the operations officer at Catechism. At least one of them.
Right. Okay, yeah. And then I guess we'll figure out our next move from there.
Well, so I guess Wanda's one of their IT specialists, but Deborah, at the very least, is not, well, she's not huge friends with Wanda. So that could mean anything from she's ambivalent to her to she hates the bitch. So, you know, we'll work with what we've got. So I just want to know what I'm going into.
Okay. I go to do that.
Okay. So you have two things you want to do: research on Deborah Keene and getting more information from the data pad. So one of those is going to be I think the Deborah Keene stuff is just going to be a research role. The data pad stuff is going to be hacking. You're not going to have to log in because you left protocol on the phone. You're already in the phone. But you are going to have to roll for manipulating the systems more.
Okay.
Which would you like to do first?
I'll start with the research roll.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll research as you're looking into Deborah Keene.
And that is an 11, and since I rolled a 10 plus, I get an extra intel and get to ask a follow-up question.
All right.
I told you can do everything.
How many intel do I get total?
So you get 2 intel.
So I have 3 now.
Nice. And then you get 2 questions. So what is your... Or you get 2 follow questions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, what is your general question here?
Okay, about Deborah Keene.
And that doesn't have to be from the list. That can just be whatever you're. I was kind of taking like.
I guess I'm looking into. Yeah, I guess I'm looking into what is the relationship between Deborah Keene and the other lady. The one we just had a date with. Yes.
Okay. Like you guys are all on that date, which you kind of were.
We all kind of were.
It was a group date. She just didn't know it.
Okay. So let's start out like, so my general answer is going to be answering the question of who is Deborah Keene. The follow-up question, the first follow-up question, if you want to stick with it, is going to be the relationship between the two. I can't think of a way that I can answer the relationship without answering the more general question about who she is. So we'll do that, and then if you want to change that or keep that as the same, you can. But you go on to you get on the internet and you begin to do some searches through future LinkedIn and go through some catechism, corporate reports, and you find her name actually pops up on a couple of things, press releases and some business journals that discuss some of catechism's operations. She's not a researcher. Usually she is just there are little snippets and little things that you come across very frequently that's thanks to the efforts and the continued support of our operations manager, Deborah Keene. And that pops up a lot, but never really gets into a lot of specifics as to what she does. And all you can find through a lot of these is that she runs operations, or she is an operations manager for catechism. You dig a little bit deeper because you also realize, and I think any of you realize, this usually means that whatever this sort of position that somebody is in, it usually bridges the gap between the up and up, above board dealings with the corporations and the below board dealings. And the more you dig into her, the more you realize that she is that liaison. She is the person that bridges that gap for catechism. And she is involved with a lot of things. A lot of jobs, a lot of transactions, mergers with smaller companies. And you dig through this for a while and you find she's been working with the company for probably about 10 years or so. And then you find a photo. And you recognize her. Long red hair, pulled up into a bun, very serious expression, wearing some very stylish reading glasses. You have met her before as Miss Scarlet, but her real name is Deborah Keene.
Hey guys.
Yep.
Yeah, what you got?
Just look at this picture and tell me what the first thought that comes to mind is.
What do we got?
I know her.
I need my glass. We know her? I'm sorry, I just didn't get my glass. Where? That bitch!
Yeah, that's kind of Deborah Keene. So, I just thought, maybe it might interest you guys to see who we're dealing with, because she's a little bit familiar.
Great.
Well,
So does this mean we've done jobs for catechism?
yeah, it does. It most certainly does.
That must make you real mad.
It doesn't make me happy. No, it doesn't. At all. Okay.
Okay, yeah, just thought that might be important. I have some more research I could do into this. What do you guys think? What direction should we go?
I say get as much information as we can.
Okay. Well, we can kind of figure she's employed by Catechism. So her and the other lady. Who did we go on a date with?
Wanda.
Wanda, who's the
There's
one
so
that
many names.
tried to hack into your computer.
Yeah. So her and Wanda work together. Do we want to try and see if we can exploit that relationship, or
At the very least, we're very aware of Miss Keen's less than savory dealings. But I'm sure that there's not much in the way of us being able to prove any of that either, considering that it's our fucking faces on video.
And you say I don't have to ask a follow-up question off the list?
You have 2 follow-up questions that you can ask.
Okay.
So you wanted to know the relationship between Deborah Keene and Wanda. Do you still want to ask that as one of your follow-up questions?
Sure.
Okay. Wanda's department reports to Deborah's department. She handles the exact nature of the department. Again, it's a long name. It's like information technologies and industrial oversight and blah blah blah. It just goes into a lot of things. A lot of big words that don't really mean anything. But basically what you can tell is that she runs the tech side of the department that Deborah oversees. So whatever Deborah does with the operations, which as far as you can tell is mostly outsourcing of illegal corporate activities, Wanda runs tech support.
So basically anything that Wanda has been doing has not only has Ms. Deborah been aware of it, she probably signed off on it.
Yeah. Okay, I have one more follow-up question I can ask. Do we want to know where to find her? I don't know what finding her would do for us.
It's probably not a bad thing to know.
Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, so where would we find Deborah?
One of 2 places sticks out to you. First would be her office, which is at the Catechism headquarters in the Central Arcology. Big old freaking building in the heart of the city. Up on one of the top floors. The other, she does have a home, and you do find her residential address that is not terribly far from where you know Apollo's address to be. She does not live in as upscale an area as Apollo. That's typically Paula probably rubs shoulders more with some of the board members and CEOs of some of the major companies, but she lives across the bay in that region, and you do get an address for a upscale flat that she owns just outside the city.
Okay. So we know where to find her now. Cool. Shall I get to hacking and see what else we can dig up?
Yes, please.
All right.
All right, what are you looking into now?
Trying to decide. I'm trying to decide what we're trying to do here.
That's a good question.
Because all we know is that they tried to hack into my systems, and that's kind of lame of them. And they kind of know that Choke and Impulse had something to do with the whole Valentine's Day job that we did, and that's a little bit of a problem.
But they've also continued to hire us and know perfectly well how to contact us.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what they're doing. So I guess I'm looking for information on what exactly they're trying to do.
Okay.
It's like looking through emails and secure
So using the
lines and stuff.
The data that you, or the access that you have to Wanda's datapad, I think is your most direct source of information there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm deciding whether this would just be another research roll. Because I can't think of any. I don't think any of your Matrix moves really. I think it's research again.
Okay.
Yeah, you're just researching into a different thing. So.
Seven.
Okay. 7 to 9.
But I still get a follow-up question.
Yeah. So your move is you always get a follow-up question?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just want to
Even if I fail, I get a follow-up question.
All right. So you'll get the answer to your question and a follow-up. So you want to know what their goal here is, or what their plan is for you. Is that what you're wanting? Okay.
Yes.
So you go through. The best way I can answer that is indirectly. You go through the data that you have recovered, or the data you've taken, and begin to patch it together, piece it together with some of the data that you are taking off of Wanda's phone that is still active through this backdoor program that you installed. You find the information, the photos, everything about the Valentine's Day operation that Choke and Impulse pulled off, some investigation that went into that, eventually leading to a dead end. I think the thing that stands out to you the most is there's a lot of redacted files, a lot of data that's been erased that you can't piece it together exactly what was being said or what that data pertains to, but it seems like there's a lot of stuff around this Valentine's Day operation that y'all did that has been redacted, been purged from the system fairly recently. What you do find that still remains is an email correspondence where Wanda is CC'd on the email that is between Omega and another email designation that just says corporate. And The thread is not polite. It is a this person, this Omega, seems to be getting chewed out pretty well by their whoever runs this corporate email account. And just there's a lot of talk of this breach is your fault, you need to handle it, make sure it's taken care of, your ass is on the line.
When was that email from?
That email exchange, I think, took place.
Basically, was that a recent, or was that like immediately after the Valentine's Day?
That is after Valentine's Day, shortly before y'all took on the job to destroy the Omni Trust data bank. After the date of you guys taking care of that job, there's some more email exchanges. Like the thread continues a little bit. Things like taken care of, leak sealed.
Okay. So Choke and I took data during the Valentine's Day fight. That was the leak. And then they turned around and hired us to close up the leak that we did the job for.
That, or they're talking about something else that happened around the same time, or happened in conjunction with what we did, but like maybe something we did caused something else to happen.
But it culminated in them hiring us to blow up this, data storage. Yeah. But they're still looking for us. Like, we fixed whatever the problem was, but they are still on the lookout for us?
Yeah?
Well, you know what I always say. They don't give a damn about any of us.
You still
They'll
have one
turn
follow-up
around.
question.
Yeah, I do still have a follow-up question.
I mean, unless they're after us to get rid of the evidence that this had occurred by someone, that kind of thing.
Well, that's stupid. They should have done that in the get-go. I mean, I would have slaughtered all of them, but I mean, they should have just done that when we finished the job. I mean, that's just sloppy workmanship.
Yeah, I know. It's I'm so surprised we haven't been ambushed yet in this business. Happens more than you'd think.
I'm thinking back to that. Wasn't the data bank that we destroyed?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we? Am I thinking of a different job, or didn't we find that we destroyed evidence for a murder?
We did.
Yep, you did.
Okay, that's why I was really confused, because I was like, wait a second, we know that we destroyed evidence for a murder case when we did that job.
Yeah, you found out that the police were looking into the murder of one Gerald Oliva.
For my follow-up question, can I find any information about this Jared guy in the data pad?
Yeah, you can. So Yeah, we can ask like who or what is related to Jared.
Yeah.
I can consider that a follow-up question. You do, not in a direct correspondence, but you go through kind of getting a little bit further into Wanda's files, and you find some personnel files. Jared Oliva was a employee of Catechism. They were a developer working on new technologies that Catechism was creating.
Okay, so there was this developer. He was murdered. Then there was a leak for Valentine's Day, or that happened at the same time, I'm not sure. And then we destroyed the database with that evidence. I'm not good at putting stuff together.
When was Jared Oliva killed?
I feel like, should we just have that information?
Yeah, it'd probably be in his personnel file. Terminated. Employment terminated. No, his personnel file shows that he died after the Valentine's Day incident, but before you guys destroyed the server bank.
Okay.
Probably about a week before you guys destroyed the server bank.
And how long after the Valentine's Day kerfuffle?
Maybe 3 weeks to a month.
Okay, so him being murdered may not necessarily be directly related to the Valentine's Day thing, but us blowing up that databank was directly related to him being murdered. But why?
Well, directly related to the evidence of him being murdered.
Yeah.
So do we need to solve his murder to figure out what's going on here?
All right, if we're going full detective, then I need to go put on a trench coat. I'll be back. And she goes up to her apartment.
And one of you guys do that time turner spell? Oh, wait, that's Sundays. That's how we fix it on Sundays, dang it.
No, I don't have a time machine.
Oh, let's build one of those. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't
And-
like not knowing things.
Impulse comes back downstairs with like a full like khaki trench coat with like the huge shoulders.
And how is that gonna help?
It puts me in the proper mindset, okay?
Ridiculously brimmed fedora. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it's- Carmen Sandiego meets Dick Tracy.
Yes. I like the way you think. You'll like the way you look. I like the way you think. Okay.
What do we know about the murder?
When it happened
Mm-hmm.
and the victim's name.
Yes. Was there
That
anything on the
it.
news about the murder?
I know we saw it on the news at one point, and we're like, uh-oh.
You guys
Yeah.
saw it on the news after you destroyed the databank because the
Yeah.
news broadcast was databank destroyed. That was the subject of a
Oops.
police investigation.
So what if he knew something or had information about the company and was the leak? They murdered him, but the murder would lead the police back to them, so that they had us blow up the databank.
I mean, that sounds very probable.
I mean, you'd think a big corporation like that would be able to cover up their own shit better.
I think that's why we have jobs, though.
Just
They
have, like,
can't.
one guy killed. They can't even do that.
I guess. I mean, it's probably because they're all chipped and teched out and tracked all the time. Unlike us, nobody cares.
So we blew up the evidence. I
Right.
wonder if there's any sort of like autopsy or any sort of information stored somewhere else that we could find.
Well, it's probably stored in the brains of whoever was doing this investigation. So whatever officer, detective, whatever that was actually investigating this might know something.
Yeah, let's back it up a step. Have you checked police records?
I might know a guy.
You know, a cop.
Is complicated. I know a guy. Okay?
See your ex.
Declare contact.
You can declare contacts. Been waiting for it.
Are
Not
they
Clarity's
an
ex.
ex? Oh,
No,
It's
not
not-
Clarity's ex.
Just
Damn.
on
Is
an
it her
impulse.
mom's ex? Is it her stepdad?
It's just one of Impulse's exes that Clarity knows.
Who is this person?
His name is Officer Jensen.
Ackles.
I was like, don't you say it. Don't you say it.
Don't fucking say it.
Officer Jensen Meyer.
I was going to die if I didn't say it.
Okay. How do you know him?
They have sort of a father-daughter relationship, but they haven't spoken in several years.
Okay. How did that start?
He's seeing her mother.
Okay.
Knew it. Sorry, I'm not muted.
We don't have a name for your mother, do we?
I have a name for her.
But I don't think you've given it out. Oh, no, you have. I have it on my
yeah.
list.
That's true. I did, I think. Helena.
Yeah, you did. It's on my list. I don't write things down unless they've been said on stream. So yeah.
Yeah.
Helena. Perfect.
Yeah,
So,
because she told me
yeah, but we don't know anything about Helena.
in case of death.
All we know is that that's Clarity's mom. Okay, so knows you're a hacker.
Not in the way that she is a hacker now. He knows that she had some fun messing with computers as a kid.
Okay, what does he think you do now?
He's not sure.
Okay.
He hasn't
perfect.
again. He hasn't heard from her in a couple
In-
years.
In a couple of years. Okay. Does he know about your accident with your eyes and all that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, so it's a contact declared. How are you making contact with them?
Just gonna go ahead and call him on a data pad.
Okay.
Who's she calling?
Just a second.
Some
Rings
police
a couple
officer,
times.
apparently.
Rings a couple times, so you get a Officer Meyer.
Hey, Jensen.
Claire?
Yeah. Yep. It's me. Just calling to see what's up. How are you?
I'm fine. Where have you been?
Oh, I'm living in the city. Doing college. Doing college.
College. Right.
Yeah, did I not tell you and Mom that?
No, you haven't told me or your mother much of anything.
Yeah. Listen, I'm doing a project for college. And I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions. It's kind of super important.
Okay. Fine. I'll answer your questions. You have to give your mother a call, though.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. What do you need?
Do you know anything about the Jared, what's his last name?
Gerald Oliva?
Gerald.
Yeah.
Oliva? Gerald Oliva case?
Oliva. Yeah, I remember it being on the news. That was a different precinct, though. Why?
Oh, I'm taking for fun a forensic computer science class, and we're supposed to look into real life cold cases. And I just wanted to know if you knew anything about that one.
I can't really share details of an ongoing investigation with a civilian. Go ahead and roll fast talk.
Oh God. Okay.
You got this. You got this.
Fast talk. Where's fast talk? There's fast
Roll
talk. Under
style.
I have no style. That's a vibe.
Oof. All right. So I think here's what happens. We're considering this a new mission, so we're in the legwork phase. You he's on the other side. Okay, I can't say. You hear him typing as he's talking to you. I can't share details of an ongoing investigation with. You hear kind of like a huh. And you hear it again. Well, no, I really can't share details with you. Apparently, this one is locked. The details are confidential. I don't have access to the investigation.
That's no problem. Thanks anyway, Jensen. Could you tell me which precinct it was in? Or is that confidential too?
No. I think it's being handled by the 457.
Cool. Well, it's been nice talking to you.
Like I said, call your mother. She hasn't heard from you in months, okay?
Yeah, I'll call my mom.
And please go home at some point. Say hi to her. I mean, she's worried sick about you, and especially if you're going to college, she's going to want to know, how are you even affording college anyway?
Oh, you remember what happened to my eyes?
Yeah.
Lawsuit, huge lawsuit, lots of money. Yep. Okay, well, nice talking to you.
Okay, Claire, and you hang up. Milan goes dead.
So, precinct 457 is where
I
we're gonna
have
be wanting to
so
look.
many questions.
So do I, actually.
Uh-huh.
How do you know that cop?
Apparently he knows your mother because he was telling you needed to talk to her.
Is your dad a cop?
He's not my dad.
I was gonna say
Okay.
you have to tell us if your dad's a cop, otherwise it's in
It's
in
entrapment.
It's not my dad. Okay. Is not my dad. It's not my dad. Listen, I just know him. He's just a friend of my mom's who definitely doesn't exist. And that's all.
Are they like good friends?
Like friends?
Oh, no, it's my mom.
It's her mom.
What? She exists, so her mom has done that before. What?
Doesn't mean she's done it with the cop.
Do we have to talk about this like right now?
I'm just making sure that like you've covered all your bases. Apparently you need to contact your mother because that was sort of a stipulation of getting this information. So
Yeah.
I prefer.
Do you not
when
call your
people-
mom?
I prefer when people believe that I sprang fully formed from a computer. So
Whoa, techno
Just, like,
Jesus.
yeah, if we could just like forget all of that.
darling, you do have to remember, I can spin anything, anytime, anywhere, and make anyone believe it. But I still need to know the actual information, so I make sure that we're, tiptoeing around it. So, spill.
I have a mother, like most people have at some point in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I live a very different lifestyle than her and would prefer for her to not be part of that lifestyle.
Understood.
I mean, it's good to have confirmation because always like half of my brain thought you might be an AI.
Oh no. I don't like those. I'm really offended. You
You're
thought it
just
was an
really-
AI joke?
Well, no, you're just really good at computers. Or are you
They're
3D
so-
printed?
I have them maybe 3D printed, but yeah,
It's
and
joke.
it's not a big deal. I just happen to know a cop who happened to
Bang your mom.
I
This is
I don't know. Anyway. It's just we got some we know what
We know which
precinct
precinct.
investigating, and apparently it's still an ongoing investigation. And that's the information I got from that.
Ongoing, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a phone call myself. She
Okay.
walked out of the room with her shoulders.
See, now you know what it's like to be me.
I'm so sorry.
I'd like to declare a contact.
Oh boy. Okay. New contact. By the way, I didn't give
It's
you
Clarity's
guys-
mom.
It's Clary's
I'm-
mom.
She's Impulse's ex. Who knew?
I meant since this is a new mission, since the last mission, Operation Steel shit, from Datapad, Operation FTT, ended successfully. You guys did get 1 XP at the beginning.
Can I
of
use
that.
a beginning of mission move then? Since this is a new mission?
I have one too.
Yes.
Why don't you go first, Choke?
I'll go
Mine's
third.
just a roll. Mine is I love it when a plan comes together. At the start of a mission, roll edge. That's
Right, for your additional gear and stuff.
For to
Or your
have-
hold.
Yeah. Please
For you to teleport.
roll. Hello? Hello? That's a 9. So I get 1 hold, which I can spend either to have a piece of gear I need right now or appear in a scene when I'm needed right now.
Perfect. Alright.
Sweet.
For to have a piece of gear or teleporting.
Alright. So you've got that. What else do people need to roll?
I have driven. When you begin a mission that furthers your vision, so I should declare, so I leveled up. I'm a pusher now. Well, I think she's always really been a pusher at heart, let's be perfectly honest. So with pusher, I have a vision. And my vision is down with the corporations, power to the people. So when you begin a mission that furthers your vision, which most of these fucking with the corporations are pretty much going to fall into that, I will roll edge, and if I roll well, I get hold to use on other moves for the mission.
Okay.
So I shall roll my driven. 5 and 4, that's 9 plus edge is 11.
All right.
So that is 3 hold.
3
Excellent.
hold. All right. And you can, again, same thing, you can spend that throughout the mission to do different things.
Exactly. Well, I can add it to moves, so I can basically like take a +1 forward to stuff if I spend hold.
Cool. And Klaxon?
Mine is called storage, but I'm calling it junkyard. And
That's
it's,
right.
We go to Savage Steve's Salvage, and I roll with a skill that I have a 0 in. I don't know why I took this move, but let's go for it.
No, mechanically it's probably not a thing, but I imagine Choke is always helping with this. Just like digging through shit. I feel like she would think that was fun.
It didn't show up. It rolled, but it didn't show up. Hello.
Huh. Does it have a pop-up?
No, it doesn't. It's just a mind roll. So
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
it's
not
a
on my board.
7.
Okay.
It's a 7, which is I get 1 gear.
Okay, cool.
Did it roll your virtual dice? Because sometimes if you
Yeah.
don't click off the last person's dice, it won't show up.
Oh, I'm not the red dice.
That's me.
Yeah.
I'll try it again. And then go to here, and then it says submit, and I roll.
There you go. Worked that time.
And
We'll go with the 7, though. That's fine.
oh, thank you.
Since I rolled
1
before.
gear.
Sometimes if you don't like click to get other people's dice off the screen, it's like, no. doing it.
All right. Cute. I sent you guys the thing with the dice that were junked up, right? Remember we had one that was like sitting on the edge?
Yeah.
Okay,
from
I
Awesome.
just wanted to make sure I
Yeah.
sent that.
Yeah. All right. Everybody's done their beginning of mission thing. I'll let you guys know when the next mission starts. Once again, this is a mission you guys aren't getting paid for. So you're doing your own thing. But
At least you don't have
I
to make up a bunch of like visions and creepy dreams for people at the beginning every time.
I wish.
It's very stressful.
I wish.
I
'Cause
don't
I
have a
always-
beginning of session move. You can give me a crazy dream just for fun.
Just for
Okay.
funsies.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'll find a way to work it in. If Clarity ever sleeps.
These
Uh,
noodles were
Goof
trying to eat.
I was gonna
me.
say Goof Thulu's tentacles are actually noodles, and
Yeah.
they're coming to get
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
giant spaghetti monster. So
Some people worship that. Okay. No.
I'm sorry. I gotta bring him up because we have talked about him before during this game, but chat just put out into the universe Macho Man Randy Salvage.
Better than Savage Steve Salvage. All right. Yep, I like it.
Man, Randy
Oh my
Savage.
gosh.
Macho Man. Didn't we have
Randy.
Macho Man Randy Savage
Didn't
running
Man-
another company in
Didn't
the
it-
universe?
He did, I thought. Or no, that was Hulk Hogan.
I'm almost positive it was
No,
Macho
it was
Man Randy
it was Macho
Savage.
Man Randy Savage.
Well, that was because Impulse was doing the voice.
And it just ended up being I was
don't
trying to do
know
the
why.
Kool-Aid Man, and it turned into Macho Man Randy Savage.
God,
That's right.
That's a far.
Yeah.
That's when you guys were doing the Omnitrust job to blow up
Yes.
the. All right.
Well,
all
he's
right.
back and better than
Everything
ever,
comes
running
around.
Macho Man Randy Salvage. That's incredible, Welsh.
And yes, Welsh Pastafarianism is a well-known and well-established religion in 2220. I'm gonna make
have
that canon
a
right now.
pope. We have a pope.
Yeah,
They have a pope now.
they're actually very evangelical at this point. It's really uncomfortable.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway, you need to stop saying these things because then it just ends up being true. Okay, you guys. What are you doing? Somebody
I
was
was
declaring
gonna
a
give
contact.
someone a call. Yeah.
Yeah, who's your contact?
Yeah, me and Klaxon are at Macho Man Randy Savage's digging through shit.
Hell yeah. Okay. So his name is Marcus Thatcher. And he is the assistant DA of San Angeles.
All right.
And he used to be a foot soldier reporter, like the likes of us, trying to, do the right thing and help out the common man. But she helped get his career off the ground, and she will never let him forget it.
Okay.
Also, he's an ex.
Yeah. You also got him off the ground. Hey-o.
Ew.
God. Okay.
You did that one.
That was you.
I know.
You cannot be that exasperated with a joke that you made yourself.
I can be that exasperated with the joke that I made. It's all I ever am. Okay, so Marcus Thatcher. All right, assistant DA. So you give him a call.
Mm-hmm.
I just assume you guys call people unless you tell me when to meet up. But honestly, who actually meets people face to face these days?
No.
In this
all right.
economy?
In this economy, with traffic the way it is in San Angeles, hell no. So I'm just playing with it a bit. I think you call and you get his reception earlier in the day. He's currently in court. We'll have to call you back later. You do some of the other work that you have around getting things together.
I've been out and about with his receptionist as well, so she'll
Okay.
be sure to put me down as a callback.
Perfect. All right. And then later on that evening, probably around like 7 o'clock, you get a call from his office again, and Marcus is on the other line. He says, Impulse.
Mr. Thatcher.
Or I guess, does he know you as
He does know me as Impulse, yes.
As Impulse. Okay. Should have asked for him. Impulse. Just Marcus is fine. How are you?
I've been better, but I'm sure you could say the same. I hope court went well.
Not as well as it should have, but it's fine. It's been a rough week. What can I help you with?
Jared Ovella.
Oliver.
Oliver, thank you.
Oliver. I was like, who is this person that you're talking about? Gerald Oliver. Oliver. Why does this sound familiar?
He was
What's
murdered.
Right. I know who you're talking about. I don't really have a file on it because it never got that far. Never had anyone to prosecute. What's your take on this?
Well, whatever happened is cover up. The evidence that would have been used in the trial was destroyed.
Right. Yeah, that's why I remember it. Okay. Do you
What do you know?
I mean, not much. Like I said, it never really came across my desk. The SAPD was working on the investigation. They had narrowed it down to some, or they were looking into some memory backups that were kept at a OmniTrust facility at the South Bay Arcology. And, well, they had gotten the warrants. I'd pushed them through. And the day before they had scheduled the sweep, place got shut up.
And these memory backups, they were a part of his workplace, I'm assuming?
No, his personal memory backups from his implants. OmniTrust has specialized memory storage in case of accidental or untimely death for legal purposes.
I see. I'm going to give you what I have. And if you use it, I'm an anonymous source. You know nothing. I gave you nothing. Do you understand?
I know the drill.
Jared worked for a little company, you may have heard of it, called Catechism. He was a developer for some of their technologies. In particular, a bit of an issue went down over Valentine's Day about a year ago. And certain materials were lost, potentially to corporate spies. 3 weeks later, Jared was murdered. And then a week later, all of that information was scoured off a databank. Think you can work with that, Mr. Thatcher?
He doesn't respond right away.
This man deserves justice. He was chewed up and spit out by one of these fucking corpses. And personally, I'm not going to stand for this anymore. That's why I do what I do. I thought that's why you did what you did. I want to roll vision thing.
Okay.
Vision thing. When you have time to make an emotional connection with someone and passionately advocate for your vision, roll style.
All right, go and roll.
That would be a 10. 4 and a 4. 2 hold. I can spend 1 hold to have the targeted NPC do a variety of things.
Okay.
I would like him, at this point, to fight to protect me and the cause.
Okay. Can you put the move up, or is it? Oh, there it is. All right, perfect. Okay. Is there something? Did you want to spit? You have 2 hold, or just the 1?
I have 2.
Okay. You want to spin your other hold?
I might, depending on what he does at first. Because I might need him to disobey a direct order or give me something I want. I don't know yet.
Considering something. Okay. There's a long pause, and you hear the sound of glass, some ice moving in around in a glass as he finishes off probably well enough to finish off whatever scotch he's currently drinking. And you hear him set the glass back on the table. He says, "You haven't changed much, have you, Impulse?"
Not a bit.
That's good. It's good to know some people out there still fighting the fight. Listen, I don't know if there's much I can do for you here. This investigation was pretty by the books. I can't say much over this line.
Where can you say much?
You remember that cafe we used to meet at? The one with the The one with the really bad coffee.
San Angelo's best coffee? Yes. I remember.
Meet me there tonight.
What time?
Give me 2 hours.
Are we coming alone or?
Don't bring anyone you don't trust.
Okay. It'll be me and 3 of my associates.
Okay. All right. Talk then.
All right. Thank you.
He hangs up.
God damn it, I'm good. All right. Fluffs out her shoulders. We have a meetup in 2 hours.
Should have bring the guns.
I don't necessarily think so. Something small, unobtrusive. We don't want to scare him. He's easily spooked. She's the ADA.
Should I be invisible for this one too?
I told him I was bringing 3 associates, so no, you're fine.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, just in case. I didn't think he would fuck me over, but just in case, yeah, probably just be armed unobtrusively is fine.
He's the ADA.
Yeah.
And you don't think he would fuck you over. Okay. I'll get the pistols.
So your 3 associates will be Choke, Clarity, and Chappie. And
Are you
I'll
not coming
keep the
inside?
engine running.
I'll say that one of them canceled because I'm not having Chappie anywhere near me when I need to concentrate.
You take Rosie. Rosie
it's-
could be your
No.
It's kind of a power play, if you think about it.
Having Chappie?
Yeah.
third.
I have to introduce, these are my associates. Choke, Clarity, and Chappie.
CH.
Triple C?
Yeah. Just saying, he scares the shit out of everyone.
If you insist.
I just don't think it's our worst plan.
Okay. Okay.
He's like really creepy though.
Yeah.
He needs to be behind me. Like, he can have my 6 because I don't want him anywhere in my periphery where I can see him. That's all I'm saying.
I'll say he's mine.
Fine.
I'll get the guns.
I'll get made up.
I'll
I haven't
just-
changed a bit, and I have not changed a bit. I don't care if it's been 7.5 years.
Should I just go like this?
However you'd like. What the hell just happened on the screen?
Ra-
Oh, okay.
Raven Knight.
Fireworks! A celebration!
It was a celebration. I was really worried that something really terrifying had happened. Awesome. I've never seen that before.
It's new.
I have not either.
It's new.
Hey,
Okay.
thanks!
Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Raven. So you guys are gearing up, getting in the Tortuga, and heading over to this cafe that
That's terrible
Marcus.
coffee.
Yeah. Probably one of the places you guys used to meet up to discuss stories back in your old reporter days.
Cool.
Choke's bringing the guns.
Yeah.
Klaxon's
Oh.
going to stay in the car.
Keep
Anything
the engines
you-
warm.
Are or are not bringing that need to be prepared for.
I'm bringing Darlene, but I'm gonna leave it in the car.
Okay.
Clarity's gonna have her cloaking mechanism on her wrist.
Yeah,
I think that's just a given now.
that's fair.
I have the stun gun and the flechette gun, but they're in the clutch. I don't believe that I will need them, but just in case.
All
I
right.
think we'll be good. I have a lot of guns.
So you head out, closing up the workshop as you leave and heading downtown towards the central arcology and this little shop, which is this narrow little alleyway off the main road. Barely able to fit the Tortuga through it. You find a place to bring her down just outside the shop. It's just a small little hole in the wall here. You can see inside the light kind of pouring out into the dimly lit alley as some street, the lights of some cars kind of cruise by on the main thoroughfare. Inside the restaurant, you can see from as you kind of pass by and sat down, you can see there are like 2 patrons in at this hour. It's close to like 11 o'clock. And the actually no, it was 7 and 8, 9, so it's closer to 9 or 10 o'clock, but still not a lot of people in there. One man behind the counter wearing his apron, slinging hash browns and breakfast stuff for some of the customers sitting at the counter, and sitting with his back to the window at one of these small booths. As you walk up, you see the familiar sort of moppish brown hair of
Exactly where
Marcus.
I was going.
It's a little bit damp from the rain. He's still in his suit, and he's sitting there, kind of hands on a coffee, his briefcase resting on the desk or on the table as Choke, Clarity, and Chappie enter.
His head unfolded and his arms twist out and do that motion, and then his fingers come apart and then roll back in and then kind of fold down. His legs rolled out and fold mechanically down, and then his chest closes, and then he stands up and begins to follow them in.
Come on, Chappie.
Keep him behind me.
It's fine. Good boy.
Impulse, you enter. The diner owner glances and gives a nod and just says, sit anywhere. As you come in, and Marcus turns back and sees you. Before you can say anything, the Chappie enters and begins to make his way through the restaurant. The owner says, the bots stay at the door. We got a small space. I don't want him breaking something.
And so Chappie does that thing where his arms just twist the other direction, and then his head spins, and then his body janks around, and then the legs twist, and it walks back to the door, and then turns and just like moves like furniture against the side of the door.
There's like a
I mean,
coat
your
rack
call,
that
but good luck getting anyone to come in the door with him standing next to it.
he goes back to making his food. Small victories. Marcus says, Impulse, hey, sit, these your friends?
Yeah. Choke, she's the muscle and the charm. Clarity, she's the info. That's Chappie. He belongs to our friend. He's the moves.
Right. It's nice to meet you. I'm Marcus. I work for the DA's office.
Don't sell yourself
we've
short.
heard.
Well, there are a couple of other ADAs, so, I do what I can.
Not many.
Not enough. So, this business you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. Can I get... I don't normally call for rolls in this situation, but Klaxon. Can I get you to roll to assess?
Assess. And blam!
Okay.
11.
All right. So Klaxon, you're sitting out in the car, rain kind of pelting against the windshield. Everybody else is inside. Marcus has coffee in hand, and we're gonna get back to Klaxon in a second. I just wanted you to have rolled for that. Impulse. You can see Marcus looks very tired, like he hasn't slept in a while, and it's been pretty typical anytime you've seen him since he started his work at the DA's office. Just not a lot of sleep, a lot of hours. As he's sitting there, though, you also know something else. There's a bit of sort of anxiety about him. He looks nervous.
Sort of reach out, put a hand on his. You doing okay?
Yeah. I'm fine.
You seem a little jumpy.
Listen, Impulse,
You sound like you're about to break up with me and we've never been going out, so just fucking spit it out, okay?
I promise you I didn't call them.
Call who?
They met me in the hallway as I was leaving. I knew the line wasn't secure.
Get out if you can. We're going now.
As the conversation is happening inside, Klaxon outside, you notice some shapes in the darkness, and you think it's just rain running down the side of the walls for a second. And then there's a moment where a car kind of pulls a little bit close to the alleyway, and you see the lights catch across, and you notice 6 black-clad individuals sort of rappelling down the side of the building, coming down towards where you are parked and the entrance to the cafe. At the same time, those of you inside, as you're beginning to panic and Marcus sees you. He says, "No, it's not like that. I convinced you just need to talk to them." And you guys hear some heel clicking from the back of the cafe as striding out from the near where the bathrooms and the kitchens are. You see a red dressed figure, long red hair pulled up in a ponytail, glasses perched on the edge of her nose, wearing a stylish suit and a briefcase at her side. You see Miss Scarlet. She says, "Hello, Marilee. We need to talk."
Miss Keen, how are you?
Been better. I believe we have some
Me
business
too.
to discuss.
Apparently. Please sit.
She heads to your table and sits down as the squad outside goes into a holding pattern, Klax, that you can see just about 15 feet above the alleyway, hanging there like a guillotine in the rain. And that is where we're going to take our break. We're going to come back in a couple minutes, do our break things, get up, stretch our legs, use the bathroom, whatever we need. And we'll be back in a little bit, everyone, to see where this goes and what's going to happen next. So stay tuned, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us on our break. We are back to play some more of the Sprawl, and things are not looking great for our crew. I'm actually going to change the music a little bit. Let's go with something a little more dramatic. Yeah, let's do that. So right now, as it stands, the three of you, Clarity, Choke, and Impulse, are sitting in this little cafe with Impulse's friend Marcus. You have just witnessed Miss Scarlet, or what was my other name for her? Deborah Keene.
Deborah. Yeah.
Walking across the cafe towards you, while Klaxon has witnessed essentially a hit squad outside the building getting into position. Deborah is how I will refer to her for now. Comes walking up to the end of the table that the four of you are sitting at. And says, "So, I believe we have a conversation in long order. Do you mind?" She points to the open space and takes the chair.
Don't think we have much of a choice, so sit the fuck down.
She sits down and pulls out a napkin and wipes the end of the table where she is, where her arms are going to rest. And the diner owner comes over, the big guy with the greasy apron, comes over and says, "What can I get everyone?" And she kind of sits there silently to see how you all handle it, if you're gonna order anything.
Coffee. Black.
Can I have some fries, please?
I forgot fries. Yeah. You, big one.
You have beer?
No alcohol.
Fries then.
All right. And Marcus just says, "I'll stick with the coffee." Looks at Deborah. He says, "Coffee for me as well, please." He walks away. She says, "So, Marcus, I believe you're not needed here anymore. You may go." He sort of shifts uncomfortably and he says, I think I should probably stay. This is, like I said, Impulse, you have to know this wasn't I didn't plan for this."
It's not your fault. I'm sorry you got roped into this.
Deborah gives him a smile and says, "Please carry on. You're a busy man. This doesn't concern you." Marcus
Is
says,
he going to be able to leave here safely, Ms. Keene?
"Oh yes. We'll have a NDA on your desk tomorrow morning. Sign that, and everything will be fine." Marcus shifts uncomfortably, and she says, "I assume you understand the gravity of that." Yeah. Right. Call me when you're done here. He stands up, takes his briefcase, walks to the front door, and as he opens it, you can hear the sound of rain hitting the asphalt outside as it closes and the bell rings. Klaxon, you see him leave, the same kind of moppy-haired gentleman leave, kind of look left to right, doesn't see the hit squad dangling a few feet overhead, takes a right and heads down the alleyway, kind of pulling up his coat a bit, and over towards the street where you see him catch a cab. But they don't do anything. They seem trained on the front door. Deborah straightens up and says, "All right. Business. This is the essential downside of compartmentalization. And I can assure you this is all one big ironic misunderstanding. But it has led us here to this point, sitting at this table, And unfortunately, there's something we have to do about it. I trust that we can discuss this, come to an agreement, and go on our way.
Doll, you're running the show, so go ahead. You don't have to sort of stand on all this rigmarole.
It sounds like the problem is you fucked up somewhere, so.
Yeah.
I've been in my position for a while, and I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't admit to my own wrongdoings. And yes, there have been some oversights on my part. Some security breaches that have been corrected. And you're right, that's why I am here and speaking with you instead of having you killed in your sleep, which would be a lot more simple, but I have business to uphold and a reputation to as well, and you have been good for business. So, I'm here to offer an opportunity. But let me first explain what's going on. As you are probably aware, she looks very pointedly at Choke and Impulse, my client had a data breach somewhere around a year ago. Some development files on a new VR drive, the Lucid drive, were stolen from our facilities.
How terrible.
That sucks.
And we are aware currently, that the culprits, well, you now sit before me. One former employee, Miss Mara Lee, and a professional fighter, calls herself Choke.
Oh, I didn't come up with it.
No, I have your real name here, but I'm assuming that you prefer to go by Choke.
Yeah.
Like I said, professional courtesy, one to the other. Miss Scarlet.
Oh, but I get merely. Well, that's just shitty.
Well, Mara Lee, you are still in our files and still in possession of Catechism property. I need to keep my ducks in a row there. Part of the reason why I'm here. Anyway, unbeknownst to you, this task that you pulled last Valentine's Day, you were employed by one Gerald Oliver in doing so. A whistleblower of sorts. He is a former employee of our company, though it seems that you're aware of that at this point. And ironically, pulled off this arrangement, this job, blowing the whistle on the software he was developing, pulled from my archives of independent contractors that I work with in the San Angeles area. Happened to come across your names. Therefore, you were hired for this job. Now, in an even more ironic twist of fate, after Gerald was terminated by the company, we needed some cleanup, and your names crossed my desk. Your group. I didn't know your names at the time, but you had done some other jobs for other people and been successful, so I hired you. Under the pseudonym Omega. You performed the job appropriately, erased Gerald's memory files, and it seemed we were, well, even for that. Then there was a strange file that crossed my desk a few weeks ago. A data leak that was bequeathed to us on behalf of one Apollo, giving us some information on your whereabouts and some business that you had conducted. I had to look into it, and I started to put things together. I realized that I had hired the same team for the Omnitrust job that had originally conducted the theft of our company's data, and that you were still a potential security breach, as one, you may still have files pertaining to these VR systems, and two, one of you happens to be a former employee with company property. There's a brief moment of awkward pause where the owner comes back and serves you 2 plates of fries and a coffee. And as he turns around and leaves, and she says, "And that's where we are now. As I have been confirmed that you still have data pertaining to the lucid drives that we need returned to us and scrubbed from your systems, and we have a matter to settle with Marilee, or Impulse."
What's your offer?
One-time deal. You turn over the data, allow us to scrub your drives of anything pertaining to the Valentine's Day fiasco, and sign the appropriate NDAs to not divulge any of this information to anyone else. And we'll be square on that front. And we will need an insurance policy on you, Marilee, until we have collected our due for the hardware that you have stolen.
What sort of number were you looking for on that?
I think you can understand the value of these devices, the cutting-edge technology that you were given as a rather reputable employee of our company.
What number were you looking for in that regard?
She pulls out her data pad, flicks a few screens, and turns it around and faces it towards you. And you can see the full cost of installation, hardware, everything. It's a lot of zeros. But rather than send a repo squad to collect this from you, instead we will just garnish some of your wages for the next, by my calculations, 5 years.
No offense, but this sounds less like a deal and more like a list of demands.
Well, if you don't agree to it, then we'll deal with this the messy way. You'll be hunted by Catechism until we collect what is ours.
Sorry, is that supposed to sound like a problem?
She sits back. Up until now, we have been passively looking into this matter since last Valentine's Day. You've seen what that looks like, I'm sure felt what that looks like, with us just simply putting you as item 3 or 4 on the to-do list. I can assure you that if you reject this deal, you'll find yourselves in the crosshairs of some very powerful people, and you won't live long like that.
Impulse is up to you. But, I'll say, up until recently, you didn't even know that people within your department were hiring the same people to take care of their problems.
Like I said, we're cleaning house. This is part of that.
You might want to work on your threats.
I'm afraid I'm going to do a decision now.
Why don't you go to the ladies' room and come right back?
Five minutes.
Just go. You're looking a little shiny.
She stands from the table. She does not go to the ladies' room. Instead, she walks out front. The bell of the diner door ringing once again.
So, Klaxon, I'm assuming you heard all that.
Yup. I can exfil through the wall if we need to.
She got back up.
Mm-hmm.
How many?
6 in eyesight that I saw. Was it?
6
There's
that
a
you
team
can
of
see.
6
Yes.
that I can see. Okay. Eyes on 6. Proximity alert.
That's great.
What do you think?
I think as much as we like to give her shit, she has us by the short ones.
I mean, it does tabula rasa you. I mean, clears the slate. You're good. Right?
I mean, after 5 years or so.
Yeah. I guess what's the plan for how they intend to wipe our data? What, are they gonna escort us back to our residence and we're handing it over?
We're gonna have to give him something. Access to something we probably don't wanna. Like I said, she's not offering a deal.
But we
She's
leave
threatening
them-
us and giving us a chance to react.
How about we tell her where it is? You know, at the gas station. They can go there themselves and get it. She
What does
will.
the gas station have?
She will go on her piece of paper. She's like, and then we will blow the motherfucker to the sky. Because we still have explosives lined up all around that entire building.
You did disable the explosives, though. Like,
Did we?
fully disable them. Yeah. That was a conversation you guys had when you were first there, because you were like, we want to fully disable them so someone doesn't try to trigger these later on and stuff like that. Yeah, you guys did
Can we
fully disable
re-enable them?
I would give you the option to if somebody went on site to do. Somebody would have to go there to reinstall them beforehand.
It's an option.
I mean, I can just shoot her.
Are you going to be able to get all 6 of her friends too? And probably the 2 to 3 more that are on the rooftops that we don't see?
I mean, maybe.
Look, I'm sorry I got all of you into this. It really sucks. I mean, at this point, I'll fucking give it back to them.
At least you didn't put a bomb in your head.
True.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Sadly, I'm all out of ideas, friends.
We can do what they want. We can fight our way out. I think that's it.
I mean, just because we do what they want for now doesn't mean we have to keep doing what they want if we find better alternative.
No, but what is letting them into our drives gonna do? They're gonna erase everything we have. And who knows what else.
I mean, we could bleach our own files, but I mean, same sit rep.
I mean, I don't need the information from the Valentine's Day. I could always back it up and then wipe it from our drive from here.
I assume they're probably anticipating that.
It's your head. It's your choice. I'll fucking blow them away, but...
Yeah, I know you'll have fun with that, but... It's the them reciprocating that I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I mean, because sending them to the gas station and blowing them up, they'll just be more like goddamn Doritos.
What
It
if
just sounded like so much fun.
I just forwarded the data from that time to the police?
Same sit rep. They come after Impulse.
Yeah.
Claire, who did you go to for your eyes?
Oh, which time?
The most recent one.
Apollo?
Think you could do a deinstallation for a good
Probably.
price?
Yeah.
And you don't need the files?
I mean, unless we want to try and take them down in the future, but I'm sure we'll have plenty of opportunities to do that with them being shady.
Yeah. They can have it back. It's just a setback. We'll burn it all to the ground later. Work for everyone.
Like I said,
Clear here.
it's your head.
I mean, clean slate and, well, pseudo clean slate for now. And like Clarity said, we'll just get more dirt later.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
We'll say at this point
This
the bell
coffee
rings.
really is terrible.
The guy behind there. Hey,
You know it's true.
It smells like gasoline.
that's my secret ingredient. She comes back in, and Deborah sits at the table with you again. Says, "All right, so which door are we taking?"
We'll scrub the data. And you can have it back. I don't need it.
Door number 3. Huh. You rather give up all of that nice shiny chrome.
I want nothing to fucking do with you or your organization. You're a bunch of pieces of shit. You can have it back.
She pulls up her data pad and flips a few things. She says, used gear is still used gear. That doesn't fully recoup our losses, but
Better than what you were going to get. Eat your losses. Consider it par for the course for all the work that we've done for you. And take it.
I would like you to roll. I think fast talk is... Yeah, promises works here. You're not really lying or anything, but we're going to do fast talk.
I'm going to burn one of my my hold for that. So I'm going to take +1.
Take a +1.
Just to be on the safe side. Okay, that's 4, 5, 6, plus the 1 is 7, and then my +2 would be a 9.
Okay. NPCs do it, but someone will find out. It's the countdown clock. Who would I would advance here? Okay, here's what she's gonna say. All right. Fine. I will send somebody later this week to confirm that the drives have been successfully purged and that no backups were created, and to collect our hardware. Your termination will be made official on Catechism servers, but I'm afraid I can't do anything about the OmniTrust incident. I won't send them anything, but they have been snooping around, considering there are some affiliations there with us potentially being involved. I would just lay low around OmniTrust for a bit.
We've dealt with the blowback of your dirty work before. I'm sure we can continue to do so. Fine.
All right then. Well, and I hope we can continue to do work in the future. You
Kiss
have been
my
reliable.
ass.
We'll see. Eventually, I assume you're going to want to get paid again. Like anyone out down here does. Alright. She sits up, straightens her jacket. 3 days. We'll send someone to collect.
Fine.
She scans her data pad to pay for the coffee and fries and walks out of the diner.
By the way,
Into
you
the
sat
room.
in jelly.
She doesn't look, regardless of whether she did or not. Stays poised. You watch as the hit team ascends back into the darkness. She takes a few steps to the end of the alleyway where a slick black car picks her up, and she goes disappearing into the night.
I need a drink.
All right. So, with this little mini mission done, here's what I'm going to make sure. Unless anyone is doing anything to double cross or to change their minds or anything, if you guys are doing exactly what you said you were going to do, we're going to skip forward a couple days.
I want to find a way to get a secure line and talk to Marcus.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
just
with
go pick him up.
That's true too.
we'll say sometime like the next morning, you catch Marcus as he's about to enter the main courthouse, and
Drive up in the
parking lot.
Tortuga, roll down the window, sunglasses on. Get in, bitch. We're going driving.
Says, I have court, and all right,
Now.
I have 10 minutes. 10 minutes, and he gets in the car. What's going on?
It gets the job done.
I'm glad to
You
see
said you
you're
wanted
alive.
to talk after. Yeah, well, not for lack of trying.
I just wanted to make sure you're okay. Like I said, after we got off the call last night, hit squad pulled up in 3 unmarked cars and pulled me in. I talked to that woman. She
Deborah
explained the
Keane.
situation. Yeah, she explained a little bit of it. Said my job was on the line if I didn't do what she said.
No, we can't have that.
Listen, I really don't want any part of this. I'm just trying to do my job.
That's exactly what we want you to do.
Great.
Continue to do your job.
I'm really glad you're okay.
Don't sign that NDA.
I have to.
No, you don't.
Impulse, if I don't, that's it for me. You know how they are. You know how things work. If I don't sign that, my boss gets a phone call and I get the boot.
Do I want to be really evil and make him not sign it? You've worked in court before for evidence that's been thrown out, not counted in the case, right?
What are you getting at?
Whatever the NDA specifies, fine. You can't use that. That doesn't mean that you can't go after these assholes.
I don't even really want to know who I'm going after.
You know exactly who you're going after.
Listen, I understand you're still out there fighting the good fight and everything, but I put people behind bars. Bad people. And
That's exactly who we're talking about here. These are some of the worst people. They think they can get away with anything.
Because they can. And they have.
Not if you don't let them.
I understand the David and Goliath thing that you've got going, but it's too big to take down. They own everyone
That's
and everything.
why you work small. No one said you had to do it all at once. You just chop it into small, manageable chunks.
Okay. Here's what I will say. I have to sign it. I can't talk about anything that we've discussed in the last 24 hours. Anything I might have heard. In the future, if you get anything, if there's any way that I can help you, I will.
Promise?
I promise. But you have to give me something real. I can't go chasing dragons.
Deal.
Okay. I have a motion in 5 minutes I have to be at.
Turn it around.
Gotcha. And he spins the tank like,
Yeah.
on a point, and it's just going the other direction.
As you park down from the courthouse and he begins to get out, he turns around one more time and says, honestly, if you can find evidence of wrongdoing or anything, if you find a chink in their armor, I'll help you drive the blade in, but like I said, I'm fighting my own small battles here, and I'm not giving that up. It's good seeing you, Impulse.
You too, Marcus. See you soon.
He heads up to the courthouse.
So what have we learned?
Corporation's bad.
Well, let's go empty my head a little bit, shall we?
You might actually like it.
We'll see.
I've made it this long without a bunch of junk, so
Sounds like a personal problem.
more like a choice.
Klaxon actually leaned over like he was gonna get punched.
You think you're so funny. Listen, we'll get you a camera. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
You, so, like I said, if you guys are planning on upholding your side of the bargain, then we'll cut forward a couple days. You get your...
They're your files. You tell me what you're doing with them.
yeah.
I don't want to make a backup, but my goggles record stuff.
Uh-huh.
Screen
They can't
record.
trace it if I just record
If you're just
looking at the
it.
files as I delete them.
Old school screen record.
Yeah, essentially you're recording a video of the data as you are looking at it and keeping it in your... Okay, yeah, I mean, that would... Essentially, you are sort of memorizing the contents of those files. You're all going to be signing NDAs as well. So that would sort of fall under a non-disclosure should you... Like, you have the information, you're just legally prohibited from doing anything with it.
Directly.
Yeah.
You are
We can't
legally
do
prohibited
anything with
From
that
getting caught doing
information.
anything with it.
yeah, from
With
getting
that
caught doing anything.
information.
Again,
Clarity
I
is
don't.
your grandma printing out your like screenshots of your Facebook pictures right now.
Yes.
The NDAs, you know, the corporations use them. It's sort of just a veiled threat. Don't say anything about it. We'll take you to court. Most likely, we're just gonna kill you. Is essentially the deal there. But
Can't
it
take
does.
me to court if you don't know I did it.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say you could do that. So you have a video in your head, a memory file in your head.
It could end up on a laptop at a repair shop somewhere that just happens to be.
Maybe. So 3 days later, they come back. Impulse, you've had the procedure to have the hardware removed, so you no longer have your implant.
Yeah.
So you can mark that off of your sheet. And they sweep Clarity's hard drives and any other computer systems you have to confirm that there were no other files made, transferred, duplicated, other secret partitions or anything. The only thing they don't do is scan your head for them, but that is technically under the NDA. You all sign those, and within a couple of days, you're then free from catechism. Well, mostly. I hit the wrong thing.
What happens to that clock though?
The clock. It's gonna go down a little bit.
Wanna show the folks at home the clock.
So this is where we currently stand at the clocks. The catechism one was at. Oh, hold on.
It's been orange for so long.
So long.
Yeah, it has, and you guys are now down below the orange. They're still wary of you. You're not completely off their radar, but yeah, they're no longer looking for information on you anymore. So I have something for the next mission, but I wanted to give an opportunity because we did have some scene. I know we had at least one scene that we needed to do. Clarity and Impulse. Do you want to do that real quick?
Yeah. I think Clarity finds Impulse in their warehouse thing. And hands her ramen. And then also a beer.
Thanks.
Yeah, you seemed like you needed it. Now, I won't say that I recommend putting the beer in the ramen, but I also won't say that I haven't done it and that it's bad.
I mean, cooking with beer is a thing. Just afford it.
It really is. And like the noodles and like the salt with the beer, like, isn't bad. So like,
It's not terrible.
I know, right? Isn't that weird?
I mean, I feel like this should go on your vlog. I'm just saying.
The noodles with the beer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been doing that. Yeah, we got some like real hits too. People are looking at it.
I'm telling you, like these, like the micro movement, it's a thing. People, you know, you don't have a lot, so like you work with what you have, you know?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people in the dredge don't really have a choice about it, but yeah.
Yeah. No, honestly, the micro movement is mostly people that, you know, grew up with everything and decided they didn't want it anymore.
That's weird.
Yeah. Who would do that?
Well, I have less than I had before, and I guess that's by choice, so I guess I can't really judge anyone.
Why don't you talk to your mom?
a little bit of the lifestyle thing, a little bit of the embarrassed about hacking and stuff thing. Like, I don't want to disappoint her. But mainly to keep her safe. Partially because we haven't talked much since the whole eye incident, and that's more my fault than hers.
Were you afraid that she would be upset?
No, she just gave up a lot to make sure that I got, my first set of cyber eyes, so.
That's kind of like a mommy prerogative, you know? That's like kind of what they do, you know?
I know, but it doesn't feel great talking to her afterwards. Like, mainly it was me getting them on my own, but I won't pretend like she didn't have a hand in me being able to get them in the first place.
You should talk to your mom.
Yeah, I said I'd call her, and Jensen will probably say that I called him anyway, so if I don't call her, she's just going to be more upset, so.
I found that when you have someone that's really desperate for your time and attention, just give them like a little. Just a little. And that'll sate them for a while, and then they'll leave you alone.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it can't hurt, can it?
Make sure it's a secure line. Again, we'll keep her safe. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. What about you? Do you have parents?
Yeah. They're fine.
They're probably fine.
Yeah.
So beer and ramen, huh?
It's a cooking revolution. It's really gonna take off.
Really? For real.
And they drink their beer noodles.
Yes.
Perfect.
You mean Brahmin?
Brahmin! Yes! Brahmin.
Does anyone else have anything they want to do in the interim?
I picked up a new move.
Okay.
But it doesn't take place or anything. It's just called blend in. Basically, I don't have a stereotype that I like to play or anything, but basically his whole wearing a jumpsuit and being the janitor thing, now it's actually a move for him.
Now you can actually blend it as the janitor.
Yeah, here, broadcast. Yeah, when you're about to be caught somewhere you shouldn't be, but you look and act like you belong there. Roll with cool.
Perfect. Looking forward to more janitor shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Yeah, unless anybody else wants to grill me about my sex life, which has become a theme in this game, I'm good.
Okay. The
2 hour grilling sex life is special. That's the next episode. That's all it'll be.
Yeah, no, let's see, speaking of grilling.
It'll be like a congressional hearing. We'll just like sit her down and be like, "Hello, Choke. Thank you for coming. Now, I have a question. It's in 22 parts, and it's all about your sex. So, let's begin. 1A.
I think Clarity gets a phone call from Dr. Zelda.
Hello?
Hi, is this Clarity?
Who's asking?
This is Dr. Zelda. I'm sorry. This is weird, but I don't really know where to start with this. I have a job. Well, I don't, but somebody in my company does. They were asking around, looking for somebody to set up a meeting with. I dealt with a thing a few weeks back, regarding a procedure to have something removed from your head. No, everything's fine with that. Nothing going on there. Everything's good. But I know you and a few of your friends came in for that meeting, and I only had your number on file. I didn't have any of theirs. You seem like the type of people that might be able to help with something like this. If you're not, that's fine. I'm just looking for... I just told them I'd look into it. They said it sounded like it might be something up your alley.
Yeah, send me the details.
I will. His name's Frank. He's a little weird, but I know him through a friend of a friend. So I'll give him your information, and he'll give you a call.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Expect it within the next hour or so. Thanks again. And I'm glad to hear you're doing well.
Yeah, thanks for taking a bomb out of my head.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Anyway, okay, bye now. So I call it. Do you go and warn your friends about the incoming phone call?
I turned on the fire alarm.
Wasn't ready. Hold on.
Just like you hear something from upstairs in her apartment, like banging on the floor, like. And then she'll come downstairs in like a silk kimono with like a face mask on. This better be good.
Yeah, we're getting a phone call from a guy named Frank.
Is Frank attractive?
I don't know, but he has a job for us.
Oh.
Fire alarm is still blaring.
Can you just...
Oh, right, yeah. Cuts the alarm.
Thank you. Great. I'll get dressed.
Yeah, I just thought you might want to be warned in case he video calls in.
He'd get quite an eyeful. I'll be back.
I think you look pretty.
You are kind. She'll wander back up to her apartment.
All right. You all get prepared for this meeting with your potential new employer. All right.
As ready as Klaxon gets.
Yeah, I was thinking like there's a couple of us. I'm just like, I mean, I guess we just wait.
You all find yourselves waiting.
I go get a couple of beers out of the fridge, and me and Klaxon just hang out.
Yeah,
Thanks.
having a beer or a centaur waiting in the office upstairs for this phone call to come in.
We probably got time to watch one episode of Rock'em Sock'em Love'em. So
Yeah.
everybody else comes in, and we're like feet kicked up on the table, like drinking like, I fucking told you.
Yeah. And as Klaxon was walking up to the office, he was like just pasty white, lanky bod with his coveralls like tied around his waist kind of thing, like half undone. And then he's like, oh, fucking video. And he just pulls the coveralls up and zips up.
Did the one with the 2 serrated knives that come out of its eyes, did that one get knocked out yet? What was that one's name?
Wasn't it something like
Sawbone. Bone saw.
Bonesaw. Yeah.
Bones-
Are they still in?
No, he was gone like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, they were my favorite.
Yeah.
Bummer. Maybe they'll
Just
come back for the reunion.
Just as the announcer is going, next time, the phone call, the indicator comes on the screen that you're receiving a video call.
Can you wait? I want to watch the preview.
Just turn it on mute.
I don't know if he's the waiting sort or if he's the not waiting sort, and I would prefer we don't. I don't know. Maybe it's a lot of money.
Get on.
Klaxon like a Minority Report grabs it and throws it on his phone, and we watch with closed captions just below the camera line, so we're like sort of looking at the camera but really watching.
You kids
Okay.
on your Zoom classroom think you're so slick. We know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. I see you.
As you pull it in, you guys are watching as on the screen comes up, you see a kind of a blurred out background, but on the screen, you see a Hispanic man with like tan, very, very tan skin and very like deep set like laugh lines, with a shortcut black hair. He's not wearing like a suit, more like a kind of like a casual business suit. He's got the jacket, he's got the collar open a little bit, and as he comes on the screen, he gives a kind of a smile and says, now are one of you Clarity? Hi, I'm Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, it's this is a bit. I don't normally do this. I'm not the one who handles this sorts of thing. But I've got sort of a job that I need done. You guys seem like I was told you all was the job doing kind.
Oh, we are most certainly the job doing kind, Frank.
Right.
What sort of job is it?
Well, so I've been told to not divulge too much. It's some proprietary knowledge, but I have we've got a bit of an issue at one of our facilities, and we need somebody to run a bit of cleanup. What's the word that they would use for this? A little bit of a extermination, like a pest problem, really. But, well, it's a bit more complicated than that. Are y'all
Wet
familiar?
works, I
Yeah.
think is the term.
Yeah. How familiar are y'all with Gubba Bumps?
Fairly familiar. Why?
Right. So we've had some recent developments down at not so recent developments at one of our. Okay, so we own some land outside the city.
Uh-huh.
We're looking at trying to restore operations at one of our facilities.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Frank,
Right. Yes.
Do you need guns? Is that?
Yes, need guns. The pests are very dangerous.
Are they perhaps predatory land-walking giant hallucinatory shrimp?
So you are familiar with our work, yes.
Quite familiar, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So you want us to shoot the shrimp?
No, actually, we want to make sure as much of the shrimp population stays intact as possible. You should, the ecosystem that's been set up there should be preserved. What we need is the perimeter fences back online and the shrimp to be contained for our purposes. See, there's a market for these shrimp that we just recently learned was viable.
You don't say.
So the job is keeping the shrimp intact.
As much of
In
the
the
population as
perimeter.
possible, yes.
But secure the perimeter.
Secure the perimeter. Yes, ma'am.
Are we securing the perimeter from the outside of that particular ecosystem, or
No, so I'm afraid that the generators are actually in the heart of the facility, so you'll need to make it into the facility in order to re-engage. You'll need to make it into the facility to activate the generators to get the perimeter fence up and running again.
Is it
Like-
just the shrimp in there?
For the most part, that's what we've. Yeah, it's the shrimp. Now
Okay,
these
Frank.
suckers are pretty big. I don't know if you've been out that
Frank,
way,
you
but-
know that not all the shrimp are gonna survive.
Oh no.
Right.
Yeah, I understand. They're going to attack you. I'm not going to cut about that. The shrimp will. They are very aggressive and territorial. You'll need to defend yourselves. You don't want to go. One of the guys at our department was like, "Why don't we just napalm, just deal with it?" But you see, the shrimp, like I said, have.
He says napalm, and Choke is just kicking Klaxon under the table.
Well, you see, I'll just cut to the chase. There's sort of an aftermarket market for these shrimp now that have been pretty recently in development. They possess some sort of, some hallucinogenic properties. I wouldn't recommend it.
I think
Yes.
is what the the kids are calling it these days. Yeah.
So from what we've learned, the kids these days are going out that way, shooting themselves a couple, and then,
Who
smoking
would
them.
do something like that? Who would
No
ever
one
do
I know.
something like that?
I mean, who has 6.5 hours to kill for that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure who the taps are doing this are, but there's actually a pretty hefty market on the streets right now for these shrimp. An untapped market that we here at Ggameknights feel, well, this is our land and the shrimp are our proprietary knowledge, so we're going to sell the shrimp as drugs.
Absolutely. Well, that's
For medical
perfect.
purposes.
Of course, that's perfectly legal.
Now, I'm not sure if I was supposed to tell you all that, but, you seem like nice folks.
What, Frank, your secret is safe with us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was assured that y'all were the pinnacle of discretion.
The utmost, Frank, the utmost.
All right. Well, like I said, keep casualties to... We'd like at least 80% of the population to remain viable.
At least 80%.
Do you know how many are sort of out there roaming around?
I think our last estimate was somewhere in the upper 10,000s.
Oh,
All right.
no problem.
Good.
So
Good.
we're
Now
looking
vary
at
in
least
size.
8,000 live Shrimp.
At least, yes.
At least.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
As I said, they vary in size. Not all of them are kind of the big ones that you see on the news, but
Oh no, some are much smaller, I'm sure. But
Yeah, you've got your jumbo shrimp, you got your coconut shrimp.
yeah, I would assume that like the smaller ones, similar to cephalopod dogs, are a little more vicious.
Right.
I'm sorry, no, that's more of a shark dog. My apologies. Oh, man, just scientific forward thinking of today. Anyway, I absolutely think we could do this for you, Frank. What sort of compensation are we thinking for this?
Okay, I need someone to roll to get the job at this point.
I'll do it.
I don't know. I feel like we've got the job.
I
feel
we got
like
the
Frank
job,
really
too.
likes us.
Frank's like
Listen.
in this with us.
Frank wasn't the type to come into this to be cagey. He's just a
Frank.
good old-fashioned...
Who's doing it?
I'll do it. I've got that move where even if I fuck it up entirely, we at least get one.
Perfect.
So I will do that. What is that move again? What is it?
It is plus edge.
It's the edge. Okay, cool. I don't think the move itself gives me any pluses. No, okay. But even if I fuck it up, then I at least get one. Okay. Okay, so that's an 8 plus 2 is 10.
All right, so you
Yay.
got 3 from the list.
But then a plus
Oh.
1, so I get 4
4.
from the list.
All right,
So
what
which
do you
one
want?
do we not want?
Yeah, basically. You've got your gear thing, right?
I have one free.
You got
I have
free-
one free gear. Chat's already on us. This isn't the move that lets us decide
No!
whether it's an ambush. That's later.
That's a
No.
later one. But
That's a later
yes,
thing.
G, fingers crossed. We'll get
Cool
the
it,
ambush
okay?
when this job is
That's
over.
at the end of the job.
That's afterwards.
And it needs to be a paying job. So this is one that
Exactly.
could happen.
You guys are getting paid.
So you
for
got
this.
to
That-
come back next week.
Yes, that's not getting the job. That's getting paid. We'll get there.
I mean, obviously we're getting paid well. We don't want it to
yeah.
attract attention. I want to know who our employer is. I want to know who Gubba Bump is actually owned
hell
by at this point. So yeah, like which do we not want? Intel or gear?
What's easier for us to get? I feel like we usually have a lot of intel.
I think for this one specifically, we'll want a gear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we won't get additional intel.
Okay, so gear pays well,
Yes.
doesn't
Yes.
attract attention, and the
Yes.
employer is identifiable. All right.
Yes.
So here's the useful assets. I think the conversation continues. He's like, all right, well, I'll make sure you get y'all some supplies that'll help with your. So I'm assuming you have most of what you need. Yeah, I sent over the figures right away. We're looking to get this done quick and as clean as possible. So we're gonna pay you. You're going to get paid pretty well for this, I think. I'll send you over the figures right away. And then as he says the last pet, he's like, oh, so he takes grabs a mug from his table and goes to take a sip, and there's just a big Soma logo across his mug, and then he puts it back down. But yeah, other than that, I think that's about all I can tell you right now. I said I can't tell you much about who the jobs come from, other than it is Gubba Bump. But
Of course.
that's gonna be the I think that's about all I got for y'all kind folk right now. Is there anything else?
I think that's about it. When do we start, Frank?
We'd like the job to be done as soon as possible, within the next week or so we can start development and getting things. So sooner you can get over there, better. Plus, if we get too far into the fall, it does get to their mating season, and they get pretty aggressive around that time. So I'd want to get out there before that.
Understood. Yeah, let us go ahead and acquire what we will need for this sort of extensive procedure, and we'll be right out there.
All right, sounds great. Well, y'all folks have a good rest of your day, and best of luck on all this.
You take care,
Wait. Bonesaw was the one that had the thing that came out that had the saw. It was Chelsea Dagger that had the dagger.
Oh,
You're
fuck.
right. Do you watch Rock'em Sock'em Love'em Frank?
I don't, but my wife does. She's a big fan of it, so I know a little.
We were
I've caught a little
sorry.
bit,
We
yeah.
were just discussing this beforehand. Well, you take care. Have a great one. Bye bye.
All right,
Bye,
take care
Frank.
now. We hang
Chelsea Dagger, fucking Chelsea Dagger. Is she still there? Are they there? Or are they out?
That was the.
With the eyes?
Yeah, we just talked about it. They're out.
Yeah. She
Oh,
went like
I
2
thought you
weeks
were.
ago.
Oh, I thought you were.
Bonesaw though.
Wait,
Still
so
there.
Bonesaw's
there.
still in?
Still in.
Is Bonesaw with the one with the oh what's it
Member
called?
and the saw.
Yeah, but the
serrated
Bonesaw-
saw on the arm? Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. See, that's the thing. Like, she still thinks
Bones.
No,
they're
but
together,
Bonesaw
but
was
Bonesaw is
with-
actually talking to like 2 other ones at the same time. She
yeah,
just doesn't
the
find
one
out
with
yet.
the 8 legs.
It's fucked up.
Yes. Oh, what was that one? The
Ace
the
of-
octo. What was it?
Ace Arachnid?
Yes. Ace
Mm.
Arachnid.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is that Bonesaw's talking to them, and none of the other ones even know.
How do they sneak around? Like, they're massive hunks of metal. How do any of them sneak around on that?
No,
island?
I mean, I don't know how they don't know. They're a bunch of robots on a heist, but yeah.
This writing is fantastic. Ugh, just
Yeah. So, tomorrow, I think we've got some training to do.
Klaxon does not laugh.
I don't know how to
He
shoot
goes,
giant.
I do. That's the
I-
point of training.
I've shot a giant shrimp.
Okay. Then we've got about a week. So tomorrow, we're going to work on formations.
Should
We're
we
going to
get, like,
work on
someone
some
else?
gun handling.
Yeah, I'm assuming that my flechette is probably not what we'll be using, right?
Well, the little ones. You know what? I've got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow. Tonight, I want to watch this.
You, as you prepare to deal with the giant shrimp, that's where we're gonna end our session, because there's not a higher note that I can end this on. Peak.
Oh,
Son of a
wait.
bitch.
Oh wait, is there? Because as Klaxon walks away, he sings the Gubba Bump jingle.
What
Gubba Bumps, get shrimp sandwich for your lunch. Your shrimp, yum shrimp shake, hold their lumps. Bubba Gumps.
Did you say shrimp shake?
Yes, hold the lumps.
All right, we're done. Cancel it. Turn off the lights. We're shutting this down.
Shut it down.
Just shutting it down. I'm done. All right.
It's over. Sorry.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh boy.
Amazing.
All right.
Could, but did you stop to think if you should?
We're gonna record a Gubba Bumps jingle, and there's nothing any of you can do to stop me.
Yeah. All right. That's where we're
We've
gonna
got
call
a
for today.
week, GB. We'll talk.
We're gonna come back next week to do the mission, which I have entitled Shrimp Heaven Now. And we are going to kill
God.
some shrimp, Jurassic Park style. We might have
Park.
Thoracic Park. We may have a guest next week. So your team might be getting some help. And we'll talk more about that. You'll find out about that next week. So come join us for that. I'm thinking about if there's anything. Oh, let's do our links thing before I forget about it. So, links. Who knows you better than they did before? Morgan goes first.
I feel like a lot of people know Clarity a little bit better, but I'm going to say Impulse.
Fair.
We had a nice
Guess.
little heart to heart. I honestly was gonna say the same thing. We had a little. You know, she has parents. More than most
Now-
people know.
Aware of parents.
Yeah.
All right. Klaxon Joe.
I'll say choke because we hung.
You watched Rock'em Sock'em Love 'em.
That's what
Talk
I'm
about a
saying.
bonding experience.
And we had a
We
beer.
did. I was gonna say something similar. Between that and I think there was this moment, it was a small moment, but there was this moment like when we were in the diner where as soon as she had the opportunity, Choke sort of like turned to Klaxon immediately and leaned on him and was like, "Hey, are there motherfuckers outside? Like, I know you're watching." So
Yeah.
I'll say Klaxon as well.
Literally, I was like, "Oh, I'll just slam the tank through the wall."
What's the number to
Oh,
roll
boy.
over? 4?
4.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So nobody rolled over this time.
Not yet.
I'm
Cool.
close.
I'm very close.
I'm close.
Cool. So, I didn't give you guys your XP for finishing the last mission. So everybody gets 1 XP for finishing the last one, and then 1 XP for starting this new mission. So everybody gets 2 more XP.
Woot.
And we'll come back at the beginning of the next session. We'll do how much you guys are gonna spit, how much cred you're gonna put down, all that good stuff, and see where we want to go from there, and then hunt some shrimp or get hunted by some shrimp. Anyone want to announce anything before we get going? Savannah.
I have 2 new shows starting next week, so
You
I'll
do.
announce them now. Starting yesterday, for the next 8 weeks, I'll be streaming every single day. You can find me every day but Mondays and Wednesdays here, but on Monday, starting this Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern time, on twitch.tv/encounter roleplay, we're doing another season of Lessons in Deep Magic. This time it's called Song of the Deep, and we're in a new setting. There's a lot of snow and ice, and some of us are multi-classing into brand new things. Got a new sponsor. It's gonna be really fun. But it's called Song of the Deep, and it's at 8 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays. And then starting Wednesday, on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I will be GMing a game of I Hunt, which it uses the Fate system, but it is about millennials hunting monsters in the gig economy. It's called Hustle and Claw, and Morgan's playing in it, which is really awesome. So come hang out with us on Wednesdays for the next several weeks, also on Encounter Roleplay.
And I don't get to see my wife again for the next 8 weeks, so except in games.
If you didn't check it out yesterday, we had our penultimate episode of Elegant Suffering yesterday. It was insane. You should look at it. You should check it out, because our final episode of Elegant Suffering will be in 2 weeks. But we will be getting into a season 2, where some crazy magical things are gonna happen. Tentatively, I believe. Can we announce? I think we've agreed it will be called Elegant Magics. Yes? Yeah. You can imagine what we're going to do with it. So, yes, check out last episode and then come see us in 2 weeks on Thursday at 8 o'clock Eastern for our final episode of Elegant Suffering. Also, check out the wiki because Alex worked really hard on it.
Just another show where my boy could not get out without being traumatized. I don't know what happens with my characters in games that we play. Just the boys.
In our defense, for like 60% of it, he was kind of a big dick.
It's
Yeah.
true.
And he
But
got
he's been
traumatized.
changed. But he's been changed by the love of a good man.
Mhm.
And now you
Yes, he
see
did.
why when I GM games, I kidnap characters.
Sid makes them walk through the woods for 15 miles after getting.
Hey, you know what?
attacked.
It was better than the alternative of you being caught by. You don't know who it was.
I have no
Bum
idea.
bum bum.
But yeah, lots
Bigfoot.
of drama coming up. Yeah, Bigfoot and his gang.
You got me. It was
Roaming
Bigfoot.
the Regency
His
highways.
roaming gang of mind flayers. You got
Oh,
me.
I thought it was Sasquatch and Elvis, and they all lived in a UFO. And
I promised them all Bigfoot and tentacles, but they don't know
Ah.
how that's going to happen yet.
And
so-
Elton John wrote a song about it.
Yep.
All right. Next show, like I said, at the top of our stream will be tomorrow. That is going to be Saturday night's Apocalypse at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Come join us for that. Lots of wacky, wild stuff there as well. Tentacles and good stuff. And that's it. Most of our schedule is as shown below our faces on Twitch. Check that out if you are watching us live. If you are not, head over to our Twitch page. Give us a follow while you're there. See whatever we got going on right now. Join our Discord. We do most of our talking about everything going on this channel, as well as a bunch of other random stuff. And follow us on Twitter, because why not? You've already clicked so many other buttons. What's one more? I think that's it for tonight. So we will see everyone back here, same time, same place next week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.